Okay, so now we are officially starting Innovation World Tour, session 5. And so we have 6 more exciting stops. And to kick off, we're going to hit Veridos. So Veridos, please take the stage. We have 3 speakers from Veridos. We have Thomas Morian, Franziska Muschek, and Rafaela Pernis. So please join us, Veridos.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the welcoming. Great. So we have prepared something for you today. It's a pleasure to be here with you at ID for Africa Marathon of Innovations. We're live with you from Berlin, Germany, and from Munich as well. And we have a presentation to show to you, which we'll play right now. So thank you very much to the ID for Africa team for preparing everything. Marathon of Innovations. My name is Rafaela, and I'm here at Veridos showroom in Berlin, Germany, welcoming all of you to our headquarters. I would like to show you today Veridos solutions together with my colleagues Obed and Thomas Pan, who will demonstrate what can we do for you, beginning in enrollment through issuance and also an innovative solution for the COVID-19 crisis. So come with me and let's take a look at what Veridos has to offer for you. All right, so let's get started with enrollment, a topic very important for Africa. And Obed is our working student here at Veridos. He will be our citizen today, and Thomas Pan is our expert technical manager at Veridos and will guide us through there. So let's take a look at that.
So, hello. Welcome to our self-enrollment. Okay. Please stand here.
Touch here to start. Use the keyboard on screen.
Please enter your family name. So, now we will take a picture. Please open your eyes completely.
Stand completely still.
Please
look up into camera. Photo approved.
Oh, perfect. So now we will take your fingerprints. Put your right 4 fingers.
Place hand flat.
Perfect.
Lift fingers from reader. Put left 4 fingers on reader. Lift fingers from reader. Put both thumbs on reader.
Perfect.
Lift fingers from reader. Take pen and write signature.
Sign here.
Signature approved.
Perfect. Well done.
Application completed.
Perfect.
Now Obed is enrolled. We have his data in the self-enrollment kiosk, and we can go on and produce for him a card right now, an identity card. So let's do that. Now we have Obed's data, and with data management software by Veridos Imago, we can manage that data and also get him an identity card printed. So you can see here we have Obed, who's actually from Ghana. It's an honor to have him here with us as well, participant of ID for Africa, and Thomas will tell us how to get this card issued.
So Obed, let's produce your card. Here's your card. Enjoy.
All right, so Obed, what you have there is a card with a black and white picture. It was printed in a couple of seconds here in our showroom, but I would like to show you also the options that we have here at Veridos. So please come here with me. At Veridos, of course, we offer governments other possibilities to do their identity documents, and one solution that we have developed ourselves is called Clip ID. Clip ID solution enables polycarbonate cards to have a full colored picture. So as you can see here, this is the final result, and of course we cannot do this in a couple of minutes because this technology involves that we really have an ID factory for it. So let me just show it here. This is a full colored, brilliant picture that we have, and this technology is of course highly durable. These ID cards last at least 10 years, and polycarbonate, we know also durability and quality and security are very high. How these cards are made is a process that we have patented. We do it in a 3-phase system technology, in the way that we will separate the picture into 2. So once we have a black and white picture out of the picture that we took of Obed, for example, in the enrollment process, and we do a laser printing of the black image. And on top, or also the other way around as well works, we do just the colorful parts of that picture. And then by doing that on top of lenticular structure, so unfortunately you can't touch it, but if you touch it, it feels different because first we did something to this polycarbonate card to make it adhere the ink, the special ink that we have developed. And then in the end, with those 2 steps done, we have the final result that is a full color image in a polycarbonate card. This technology has already been implemented. One of the places, and actually the first one, was at Bangladesh, in Bangladesh, and here you can see the Bangladeshi passport with Clip ID technology. All right, so now we have Obed's card. So Obed, you've been enrolled, you have your identity card. Now we can proceed to see how to use it also nowadays with the COVID situation. Let's see if you want to have an attestation. How can you use your identity card also to prove that you have immunization, that you've been vaccinated? So now come with me and we go to the innovation session at Veridos showroom. Now we're gonna change roles a little bit. Obed has his ID card that was just issued, and Thomas is gonna be our doctor, because actually now let's all imagine that we are at a doctor's clinic and Obed has just been vaccinated against COVID-19. So Thomas will be our doctor, showing how our new solution, Verigo TrueSeal, works to attest sensitive documents, such as an immunization certificate against COVID-19 that will be necessary if you, Obed, want to enter a place, such as an event or a crowded space, or even if you want to travel, so that you can say, yes, I've been vaccinated. All right, so let's take a look into that, how that will work out.
So, okay, Obed, then let's issue a certificate for you. So, Obed, I will enter your personal data. So, your citizen ID from your card. And your email. So I give you a validity from almost 1 year. And your certificate is valid. So we don't need any other documents for you, that's fine. And everything is fine, and I will issue your certificate.
Let's change scenarios again. Obed continues being our citizen, but now he's traveling, he wants to go somewhere. But that's not a problem because he's been vaccinated and he also has a secure certificate. Thomas will change roles again, and he will be now working at the airport at the check-in, verifying if passengers do have a vaccination certificate. So Obed has two versions of the certificate. Remember, we had the version printed out for him at the doctor's, but also on his phone, he has the digital version of it. If he forgets the paper at home, that's no problem at all. He has a digital version with a QR code. And Thomas now, he has on his phone an app that is developed by us and can only be downloaded by verified people and agencies to verify if this document is valid and also in between the expiration date. So Thomas will have everything on his phone, and you will see back in the screen a mirroring of his phone so that you can easily follow what's happening.
So Obed, let me check your certificate. Okay, looks good and is a valid certificate.
And this was very good. TrueSeal, Veridos, new solution to attest sensitive documents, very much needed during this crisis. And I have prepared for you also a brochure that you can find in our booth here at ID for Africa Marathon of Innovations. I have here a hard copy, but of course we're now working with the digital version. But go to our booth and you can find it, and also you'll see an explanation of the solution as well as all the steps that we went through with you today. So you can see here we go how to issue a certificate and also how to verify it with an app and in a secure form. And so we've come to an end of our tour today, Veridos Showcase at ID for Africa. Thank you very much for participating, for tuning in. I hope you have enjoyed what we had here to show for you, beginning at enrollment and going all the way through issuance, and also an innovative solution to help through the COVID-19 crisis. We have a couple of minutes for Q&A. Please do send us your questions. You can do this now, but also later in our booth. We're here for you. We would like also to have a personal consultation with you and a personal chat to see how can we help through your needs. Thank you very much for participating with us today, and I wish you an amazing conference and also a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
That was wonderful, Veridos. Before we go on, could you share where you're presenting from?
Yes, of course. So I am from Berlin today, and I just remembered that actually we're not only from Germany tuned in. So myself, I'm in Berlin. Franziska is in Munich, and Thomas, would you like to tell us where you are today?
Yes, and for 2 weeks I'm already in Botswana, and I will stay here another few days, and so I'm in this for a call from Gaborone.
Excellent. And so we have some really good questions from the audience. Somebody has asked, for your color PC card, the black and white laser image, is it permanent? Is permanent, but what is the durability of the color photo, lifetime in years?
It is exactly as permanent as the black and white photo. It's right, the black and white photo is laser engraved. However, the color photo, which looks like we print on top due to the structure of a card, it actually also penetrates into the card body, so it is as durable as a laser engraving, easily 10 years.
Okay. And so somebody has asked, I'm not sure if you specialize in centralized printing of ID documents, or you can also do over-the-counter or distributed printing. So you can give instantly the ID card to the applicant. Can you speak to both capabilities?
Okay. With regard to the term of printing, yes, we are specialized in printing, as we are running not only one, but several security printing factories in which we also do personalization. We have solutions where we do this centralized, where we even have a combined process, not this Clipperdy, which we've shown here, but even other processes of having an integrated production and personalization of cards. We can also have that in a centralized way where we pre-produce cards and then cards are being personalized centrally. And then we have also this option of over-the-counter, where we have smaller units where we can also personalize decentrally.
Okay. And so somebody has asked, have the photos taken been processed directly in accordance with ICAO standards, including cropping, calibrating, eliminating backgrounds, and so on?
Yes, of course they have. That is not a feature of our personalization technology, but this is a feature of our enrollment software, where all the photos are taken and pre-processed and then checked also according to ICAO compliance, certainly, of course.
Okay. And so one audience member has asked a very relevant question to this conference, that they're curious to hear about your African experience. And what countries in particular have you provided solutions to in Africa, and for what applications?
Well, for what applications? We are in Africa mainly for ID, passport, and border control. Also, as you probably all know, we are as Veridos servicing the ICAO PKD, which is currently run by our mother company Bundesdruckerei, where they have also a lot of customers in Africa, which are ICAO PKD members. And where we are in Africa, all over the continent, we have a bit of focus on the southern part of Africa with Namibia, Zambia, Botswana. We have Djibouti, we have Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. We have a big project running in Libya. We're in Egypt. We're in West Africa. We have also in our group, it's not only Veridos, there's also other group companies which other projects in Africa. So we have quite a big footprint in Africa.
Excellent. And that was all the time we had for you. Oh, sorry, we have one more question. I'll quickly squeeze this in. So the border control, what type of solution is that? Is it eGate or integrated border control systems? And if you could please elaborate on that.
We have a complete suite of border control. We are coming originally from our mother company, Bundesdruckerei. They have developed already years ago a very good solution for passport readers with a background software for document security checks. Developing from there, we have developed a complete suite, and we provide, well, from just passport readers through, of course, eGates. Our mother companies are running the whole system for Germany for the eGates, and we have our biggest installations for border control currently in Morocco. And I would like to invite you also to go on our website, and you can download also there the complete information about our border control system in Morocco, which is countrywide, and where we have the booths equipped. We have all the background system, we have all the processes, and of course we have also the eGates.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Do you want to say anything to the audience before you leave?
Well, thank you very much for inviting us to be here. We were happy to join, and I hope this helped. And if anybody has further questions, of course we're always available, and please just approach us either on this platform or go directly on our webpage and write to us. So we'll be happy to support you. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, Franziska, and Rafaela. It was very nice. And as they mentioned, they're available on the Hoover platform innovation booth, so you can still get in touch with them. Okay, so moving on to our next stop. Our next stop is the Coppernic.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Kevin, and hello, Mark. So yeah, take the stage.
Hello. Thank you very much. Welcome to everybody. So we are Coppernic. Most of the attendees knows us already, so I won't go through a presentation of Coppernic, but what is important today is that we will demonstrate to you a live demonstration of our unique concept of the last mile civil registration solution. and we will demonstrate this through our product, which is the ID platform FAB50. And we think it is really the perfect solution to enroll people at the exact place they are. So this is why you can see my colleague Mark is somewhere in the south of France landscape. And what we want to demonstrate today is how fast, how accurate and easy learning solution we have to do the enrollment of people, as I said, on the last mile. Which is very, very important. We just saw a Veridos demonstration, very interesting demonstration on the kiosk. Our solution is here to do the last mile enrollment. During the presentation, you will see on my background people coming to be enrolled with Marion, who is here. And at the end of the presentation, we will give you the number of people that were actually enrolled with 10 fingerprints, face, all the demographic data. So we will start now to enroll a few peoples. And now I would like to introduce you to Mark, which, as I said, who is in the south of France landscape, and we'll show you how the outside solution work, because we are mobile, and as mobile solution, we are able to work and to enroll people everywhere, in every place, in every condition, clean or harsh. So welcome, Mark, and I give you the video.
Okay. So hello everyone. Thank you, Kevin. I'm clean and it's supposed to be warm, but actually
I think, Mark, your connection isn't good.
Do that. Do is that we will go. So let's go. Here we are. So that's our kit. Very, very thin tablet. It's less than 1 kilogram. Very sleek. Full. As you can see, I can hold it in my hands, no problem. So let's go and let's enroll our friend. Solomel. So I'm coming to enroll you. Okay. So if you can come by. So of course this is COVID-19 time, so we need masks and everything. Hello. Hey. Hello. So let's start with a bit of sanity check. I'll do that for myself so that you are safe. So let's start with our wizard. Mr. Lemel, do you have an ID document with you? I have no ID document. Okay, that's not a problem. So we don't have anything to scan. Let's go. So can you spell your family name? Lemel, L-E-M-E-L. L-E-M-E-L. All right. First name? Fabien. F-A-B-I-E-N. Okay. Your birth date, please? 13 March 76. Okay. Birthplace? In France? In France. France is okay. We don't need too many details. Nationality? France. Okay. All right. Are you male? Male. You are? Okay. So let's take a picture. Can you put out the mask and your nice hat, please? Okay, so we just take the picture. I'm gonna enroll your fingers. Everything's fine with your fingers, or you? I have one. This one. Okay, no problem. So we have. Can you show me your hands? So this one is injured, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll just not enroll it. Okay, so let's start with the left hand, please. Okay, your thumbs are just, it's raining a bit. Okay, and then your fingers. All right, can you sign on the screen? Excellent. So we are done. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna print you a receipt. I got my Bluetooth printer. There we go. And with that, so you know you're enrolled, and then you will be able to get your document later.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Okay. So that's basically it. You can see it's very fast, very convenient. We can really go in the field and enroll people on the spot. We don't need any kind of infrastructure, because this tablet can be sometimes connected, sometimes not connected. That's absolutely not an issue. We have 4G, we have 3G, we have memory, so we can keep the records here, or we can upload them, no problem. That's a very high quality sensor. You see, it's raining. We can actually do the registration with a light rain. We also have a very good camera. We can do also iris enrollment that we did not show today, but it's available. And we have a big battery. Also for power, we have an extra battery. We have a power bank. We have solar panels that are of no use today. But as you can see, we have a broad range of accessories. We can put that in a backpack and put that in any bag, and you can really go in the field and do a perfect quality enrollment. So thank you very much for this a bit of reality in this virtual show. As we said, reality and the real world is our lab, and this is really where we stand, and this is how we cross the extra mile. So thank you very much, and I switch back to Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you very much for taking all those risks under the rain and under the cold weather. As you could see, it was absolutely live demo. So this is why we had a little bit of lagging at the beginning, but at the end and the whole process were perfectly well. So as you could see, this is what we wanted to demonstrate. It is really a very mobile, very easy, very light and easy learning solution. Anybody, as Marion is still doing some enrollment right now, anybody can take advantage of this solution in only a few minutes without any deep training, any deep learning. So it is really something very convenient for civil registration. As Mark said, we also have a whole set of accessories, because when we are talking about mobility, one of the main things is about battery life. And of course, we are talking about Africa, and in Africa there is endless source of energy, which is the sun. And so of course we are coming with different type of kits. So with backpacks and with a solar panel, of course, to charge some power banks and to be able to charge other spare batteries, and to give the agent and the operator the mean to have endless battery life wherever he is, and wherever is operating. So I hope you enjoy this demonstration. The enrollment procedure is still ongoing right now, and At the end of the presentation, I will tell you how many people were enrolled, just to show you how quick and fast the process is. So we hope you enjoy this live demonstration. Of course, if you have any question, please post it on the platform, and we will be more than happy to do one-to-one meetings and to do some specific sessions with you. So I switch to Mishka and to question and answers.
Thank you. That was quite a show. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you very
much. So basically, there was one question which you basically just answered, but maybe you could elaborate on it. But somebody asked, what is the autonomy of your device in the field?
Okay, that's a very interesting and important question, because as we said, as we are mobile, the battery life is essential. So this is why we didn't make any compromise, and we have integrated a 12,500 milliamp battery into our platform. So this gives us at least 1.5 days of full operation of registration. And as I said, with all the accessories around, the registration agent doesn't need to find a plug or artificial source of energy, because the accessories we provide really give him a very easy way to charge his device.
Wonderful. And so somebody's followed up on that, like, how does data synchronization work? Do devices come back from the field and then synchronize with the central server?
Exactly. We can have both ways. As Mark said, we can have the autonomous data collection, and of course, data collection on the field without any connectivity is working, because security is really essential, and we have different security modules, secure element embedded inside the tablet. So it's very important to be able to encrypt the data that are stored into the device, and then when you are going back in the registration agency, then it can synchronize. Sorry, through different ways. So through Wi-Fi or through wires, through whatever you want. And the other way, the other option is to synchronize directly with a 4G GSM network when you have access to this network.
Great. And so I'm kind of like curious. We're curious. So, what sensor are you using for your finger and for iris?
So the sensor we are using for our fingerprint is a 50 sensor from.
Sorry, I think I got muted. 1 minute.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yep, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. So it is a FAB 50 50.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jerry, can you please keep your mic on mute? Sorry about that. Please continue.
Okay, no problem. And the iris camera, we are using a camera with infrared lens, and the algorithm we are using right now with it is from Iris-Tech.
Okay, wonderful. And so another question that came up is, the Coppernic field test was impressive, but given the COVID-19 pandemic, would the panel for fingerprints not have to be cleaned before use by different people? And how does the person enrolled in the field also confirm that there were no mistakes when his details were being collected?
That's a very important question indeed, because what we say is, of course, touching human beings are touching different surface. They can touch a chair, a desk, when they're going to be registered into a fixed environment with a fixed kit. So what we provide, of course, there are two ways of avoiding having the virus on the surface. The first way, of course, is to clean the surface at every enrollment. So very easy, because the device itself, the module itself, can support those many cleaning. The second way is something we are studying, and I think IB, Integrated Biometrics, already talked about that. You know, on this technology, you have a microelectrical current that is going through the surface. And now I know they're doing a lot of studies with the University of Missouri to check if this microcurrent is killing the virus. So we are looking also at this to avoid having this cleaning procedure before every registration. And the second question was about, sorry, I don't remember.
Sorry, let me look for you. I've got a bunch more questions. They're asking, yes, the second question was, as a person enrolled in the field, how can you confirm that there were no mistakes made when you were collecting their data?
Actually, this is something that we call the transparency. As we are mobile, and as you saw on the live demonstration, at every stage of registration, the citizen can look at the data that are put inside the system. He can look at his name. Of course, what we have demonstrated is without the document scanning, but here you can see we are scanning passports to have all the different information from the passports directly and automatically. So the name, the surname, date of birth, place of birth, and so on. But it's very important at the end of the registration to have a screen that shows you all the data that were collected from the citizen. So this is what we call the transparency. We are not behind a wall, we are not behind a screen, the agent is not behind something, and the citizen cannot see what is put into the system, but we are with him. The agent is with the citizen and is showing at every stage what is put inside the system. So the citizen himself can check if the data are correct or not.
Okay. And so somebody has asked that, why don't you use an FAP60 sensor, which allows real ID flat identification?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yes, somebody's asking, why don't you use an FAP60 sensor, which allows real ID flat identification?
That's an interesting question. So right now in our portfolio, we are using this FAP50 because it's really the first one that came this way. So very thin, very easy to integrate into the product. Of course, we are having new things coming up and new modules coming up from different vendors. And this is something that we really definitely put in our roadmap. I suggest that we can share with the people interested in this technology, the FAP60 technology, to understand about our roadmap and when we will be able to show this type of thing. What is important is to keep a device that is light, small, and very easy to handle. So this is our main focus today.
Okay. And we're almost out of time, but I'll just take one more question. Somebody's asking you specifically that if the device is stolen, are you able to destroy the data stored on it remotely?
Absolutely. Now we are talking about what we call the EMM. So EMM for enterprise mobile management. So through those software, we can easily, whenever a device disappears, we can easily deactivate and erase all the data. But also, as I said, the security is really a big thing for us. And if someone is stealing the device, if he doesn't have the keys, the encryption keys that are stored inside the secure element of the device, he won't be able at all to read any data that is stored inside the device. But of course, remotely, we can easily erase everything. Okay,
wonderful. There are some more questions for you in Hoover, so please do answer them there. But for anybody listening, you can still reach out to Kevin and Mark from the Hoover platform. Mark,
Okay,
Kevin,
just a last thing, because I said that I will tell you how many people during this presentation were enrolled. So now we are enrolling the 17th person. So during this 20-minute presentation, we have enrolled 17 people fully enrolled, 10 fingerprints, face, and all the demographic data.
Wonderful. Yeah, that is super impressive. Thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. So our next stop is with Aratek. We have Mr. Cesar Flores Zavarek joining us. Hello, Mr. Cesar. You're on mute.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. I'm normally based in Milan, Italy, but currently I'm in Colombia. So I'm in a hotel room for the next few days. So it's a pleasure to present the experience of Aratek. I'll be right now, of course, sharing some slides and a cute video about the company. So since we're talking about innovation, I want to speak about innovation is not always something that it's flashy or absolutely something that you notice at first time. What I like about Aratek is that the innovation takes place at all levels, and it takes place even in the smallest things. You know, Aratek is right now one of the leader suppliers in facial intelligence and biometrics. So they have a very interesting combination of price and performance of the products, innovative products, while having control on the entire range of technologies. And that's what for certain has made them successful as working with many different partners. Aratek is agnostic in the type of technologies that they include in their mobile devices. We are able to reach out and work with many of the different companies that are present right now in ID for Africa, and we have done so in the past in order to build solutions that work on the field. And the range of products goes from fingerprint modules to fingerprint scanners to biometric terminals, and of course the software that goes with it. So I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to skip the modules because it's not that interesting, and I'm going to move to probably the flagship products where the market knows more about, which are the biometric terminals. And we have a lot of experience deploying these type of terminals in Africa. For example, we partner with Thales and Lapstone for the current Ghana voter verification system. We've partnered with Smartmatic in countries such as Sierra Leone and Uganda. So as you can see, these devices have been proven in the field in Africa, you know, in very, very complex situations. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Marshall, which is our latest handheld device or mobile biometric device, which we created after all these years of experience trying to come up with a very versatile device. So when it comes to fingerprint reader, the same device can carry a FAP20, a FAP30, and a FAP45 fingerprint scanner. So that also shows the versatility into adapting to different projects. We can add also a thermal printer. So if you have activities or processes where you want to issue a receipt or a confirmation receipt upon registration, for example, you're registering people for a voter registration or for a national ID, you can issue a receipt that says You have been successfully registered. Please come back or go to this specific location to pick up your physical ID. And we also have the option to add an MR set reader, which also makes this device very practical for border control and other security activities, refugee control, etc., where the official can carry easily this device on his hand while at the same time reading a passport. This is the VM5510, which is basically one of our biggest seller. So a very practical, very rugged fingerprint scan, NFC reader, 3G enabled mobile enrollment and verification equipment. And the 5520 version adds to it the barcode reading capacity, the contactless card reading capacity, and the NFC reading. This device is the one currently being deployed at the Ghana voter verification project. And then when we move to a bigger format, we have what we call the VM 5500, which is a tablet that is also being deployed in many different projects, from transportation to enrollment to verification. And it also has many of the same features of the previous products, but of course, including a different type of display. And we have been able also to deliver this equipment in different formats. For example, we have customers that have been adding this device in buses where children are verified, and so the parents know that their children are currently in the school bus. We have this device in massive verification processes, for example, in the China university entry level exams, where all the students are checked in order to undergo their test, and many other applications. We have a smaller version of this 5300, which is basically used it's a cell phone for all intent and purposes, but carrying a fingerprint reader, NFC reader, barcode reader, and camera. And this has been deployed, for example, by different law enforcement agencies in China as well. We have bigger formats, like an all-in-one terminal, which is also currently used for visitor control, and also for some enrollment processes where the customers need a bigger screen, and even the possibility to add a keyboard to it. So having presented this, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share a quick video about the Marshall device. One moment. There we go. All right, thank you very much. And then I'll move on with the rest of the portfolio. So now we move into our face recognition terminals called True Face series. And this is also a very interesting and of course very trendy line of products. So we not only manufacture the terminals, we also provide the face recognition algorithm and software. So we have, again, different form factors to meet different requirements on the field. So the B8 8100 is an 8-inch smart facial recognition terminal. It can be used for many applications, access control, security, etc. So we have a 2-megapixel dual HDR camera, including lightning detection and LED indicators. So we have been deploying this, especially now during the pandemic, to several institutions that have automated their access control to become, of course, to provide for social distancing. This one basically adds an additional layer of security because it's a smart facial recognition terminal, but it also can be fitted with a fingerprint scanner and a contactless card. So for environments that require a bigger level of security, we will verify by reading a company card or a national ID and completing the verification with face and fingerprint. And last but not least, we have a bigger format with 11 inches that is also being deployed in several customers for visitor control and access control, enrollment as well, because it has this very high level facial recognition camera and software with liveness detection, combined with the possibility of reading an ID and fingerprint as well. And these all come with the very specific and advanced software that we call it True Face. And it's very versatile because it allows you to control several devices remotely and assign different levels of service to different customers. So like I said before, it's been widely used in access control, visitor management, time attendance, and even in hotel management. So finalizing, Aratek works with partners and channels, and we have the capability of providing products that can be customized for all these verticals. So SIM card activation, we've been very active in Pakistan and many other countries. Voters authentication as well, financial and beneficial programs, point of sales, law enforcement, students ID verification, etc., etc. And of course, we can provide all these solutions with a layer of software that can be customized by our customers, that goes from the simple fingerprint scan SDK and goes all the way to a complete solution. So we are versatile enough to work with our partners and provide software that can be customized from the bottom up. And we've even, in some cases, built the entire solution, but that's only for very, very special, very unique verticals that require some kind of customization. Otherwise, we do prefer to work with our partners. So I think we might be running out of time, so I'm going to stop here, and I prefer to pass to some questions from the audience.
Thank you, Cesar, for that informative session. Unfortunately, we only have time for one question. Somebody says that you mentioned your devices were deployed in Africa. You specifically mentioned Ghana voters. And so what is your footprint in Africa? Where can we see your products in action in Africa? And if you have any social protection programs there?
Sorry, the last question was social. I didn't hear that.
Protection programs.
Okay. Well, like I said before, we work with channels and partners. So we have partners that have deployed our solutions in small projects, small footprint. So let's say the bigger projects that we have been involved has been basically with some bigger partners. So our devices were part of the Uganda voter verification in the past. So we're talking about approximately 20,000 devices. And currently in the voter verification process in Ghana, our partners have acquired and are deploying more than 70,000 devices as well. But while we gladly, if the audience will contact us, we can provide more detailed information about the products and the footprint and how to engage with Aratek.
Wonderful. Okay, so somebody has asked, where are the facial scans stored?
Okay, well, if it's a standalone version, which is mostly used for access control on a standalone capacity, we can store about 5,000 users, and they're stored locally in the device, right? Of course, everything is encrypted and protected. But when we have a distributed solution, we have a server, and of course that server is on the cloud. So using cloud protocols and protection, the data will be stored there. And of course, the customer that acquires the platform has the ability to delete the data as they please. It depends, of course, on the business rules and the type of activity. So we have noticed that when it comes to governments, of course, they require this level of auditability and visibility, and the software does provide for that option.
Okay, great. And so we have another question. When you mention ID, do you refer to a particular ID standard? I'm thinking of regular work or student ID and not a national ID in the sense of visitor management.
Yeah, of course. Like for example, in the bus solution, each school is able to produce their own type of ID. So we have the ability to read barcodes within most of our devices. So as long as you create your own barcode, for example, it could be a QR code or a 2D barcode, we can read any kind of ID. And of course, it moves up to more sophisticated type of IDs like NFC that provides a contact chip or an NFC. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a national ID. We can, of course, adapt to IDs that are produced by a certain organization or within a company or corporate IDs and simple IDs as well.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Cesar. Do you want to say anything to the audience before you leave?
Well, no, thank you again for being here. We hope to be again next year, but this time in a physical way. And good luck, everybody. And please visit our booth.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we can't wait. So moving on to our next segment from Telepower.
Hi everyone, this is Mike from Telepower. Thanks to ID for Africa, allowing me to share my perspectives with all of you. It would be my great honor, and today I want to share with you the topic of social security, temperature, and biometric solutions. First of all, let me introduce about our company first. So you could see this is our Telepower building. Telepower is a world-class high-tech company with smart terminal and solution as its core business. We dedicate 21 years old in the security area. And this is our terminal, such as the POS, cash register, self-service kiosk, face recognition terminal, temperature measurement terminal, and also the biometric terminal, and so on. Telpo has established strategic cooperation with MTN, Vodafone, Burger King, 7-Eleven, Africa Lottery, Alipay, and so on. So you could see now Telpo, we have about more than 1,000 customers in more than 100 countries all over the world. We are founded in 1999, and we are made the IPO about 5 years ago. So now we have the Hong Kong and the Sri Lanka branch, and also we have the India office now. So let's see, this is our product family, including the temperature measurement and also the face recognition product. And also this is a biometric device, including a fingerprint and the iris. Also here is for the payment device, such as the POS and the bus ticket validator, and also the face payment device. Also here is for the retail devices here. To begin with, let's figure out the importance of public security, why it matters so much in social development. As we all know, we are in the era of globalization that both social production and life are highly interconnected and interdependent. Each field will form one or more chains, which will be connected in various ways to form a more complex network. Today, many countries have joined such a network. Among them, the more open and developed countries connect more deeply. When it comes to common global public security issues, the largest scale emergency is undoubtedly one of them. The COVID-19 has spread around the world through human contact and cargo movement. And at this special time, we try our best to help all walks of life do well in pandemic prevention and control and face recognition temperature measurement. In virtue of years of experience in the face recognition industry, we self-developed a host of AI terminals based on cutting-edge face recognition algorithm and infrared thermography algorithm. In this way, we can provide knife-ness detection, mask detection, temperature measurement, high temperature alarm, contactless card, and so on prevention measures, ensuring a safe environment at hotel, hospital, school, community, exhibition, supermarket, railway station, airport, and other public scenes. There is no doubt that it is the face recognition terminal gives us the chance to enjoy the charm of face recognition technology. Thus, what is the feature of face recognition terminal under pandemic? Let's take a look. Combining with infrared thermal image technology, it can support temperature detection. Once a person is detected, high temperature alarm will be activated to remind people, as mask wearing is proved to be an effective measure to combat the virus. The face recognition terminal can also enable mask detection and voice prompt people to wear a mask. Most importantly, it can comply with GDPR and better protect people's private information. Now, let's introduce about Telpo's temperature terminals. Telpo temperature terminal could use in many applications such as retail, healthcare, education, hotel, government, office building, and so on. So now you could see this is the Telpo temperature family. You could see here many types of the terminals here, such as the cash register, bus validator, tablet, handheld, and also the face terminal. We support the single person, multi-person, face recognition, fail detection, mask detection, voice prompt, multi-languages, identification, Telpo cloud, and flexible deployment. The first one, this is the most popular one, TPS 980T. You could see this is with the 8-inch screen. the face camera, also the temperature module, and of course the NFC module here. The temperature measurement accuracy is about 0.3 degree. The distance is about 50 to 70 cm. You could see you could support the mass detection and also the multi-language with the 26 languages. And also we could deploy the cloud deploy no matter online or offline. Also, about the chipset, you could support the work chip or Qualcomm. It's up to you. The second one, it is about the TPS 980G. It is the most important. It is for the multi-person recognition. You could support 3 to 4 persons one time. You could see here in this picture. Okay. So also we have a new design of the temperature module. You can see this module is F10T. You can see that the appearance is more fashion. And also the screen, it is 10 inch more bigger. Except the face terminal. Also we could support this smaller one, for the B5. This is the infrared thermometer with access control and the time attendance. The temperature measurement, the speed is less than 1 second. And also the accuracy, it is about 0.3 degree. The distance is about 10 to 30 cm. You will see here, this is the indicator light. It could support the green or red. Also, this is the screen to display the temperature. And also here is the NFC reader here. Now also, this is the TPS 530T. It is for the bus rate data. When you get on the bus, you could test your temperature first and then put your card here. And then also, if you want to make the payment, you could use the QR code here. This is for the bus rate data to test the temperature. And also, we have a new design of the handheld device with the temperature module here. This is a TPS 350T. It is for the human forehead or wrist to test the temperature. So here, we also show more temperature measurement terminals here, such as F60. This is 7-inch devices with the face camera here. And also the TPS 390T. This with the keyboard, more easy to control. And also this is for the tablet. This is 8-inch tablet with the temperature module here. And also we could support the more bigger device, such as the cash register with the temperature module here. It could support the temperature screening, and for example, for the visitor management. As the old saying goes, technology innovation plays an important role in social development. Nowadays, common biometric include fingerprint recognition, common biometric including finger recognition, face recognition, iris recognition, and ray recognition. And the biometric recognition mainly use human inherent physiological features like fingerprint, face, iris, or behavioral features include voice, pace to identify individuals. Thanks to the rapid development of deep learning algorithm and the upgrading of the acquisition device, the efficiency and the usability of biometric have been greatly improved, especially in the field of image recognition, speech recognition, and iris recognition. With the technology innovation, recognition accuracy improvement, face database, and the face recognition system cost reduction, and we see face recognition technology is used in more and more SIMs. Face access control, face attendance, face check-in are some common examples. Importantly, we can use face recognition to provide customized service in some service industries like bank, restaurant, and so on. Let's take an example. When a VIP enters the area, he can automatically enjoy special VIP service just by swiping his face. How surprised and satisfied he would be. And it is just one simple sim. In the future, the uprising face recognition accuracy will also improve the efficiency of various applications and change our lives and work in all aspects. So, let's introduce the face recognition terminal now. As you could see, this is our Telepower face family. Here is for the outdoor device. It has the dust and water protection. And also this is for the access control, also for the desktop one. You could see this is the outdoor with the IP66 or IP65, F2, F6, F10, and F8. The first one is the F2. It could support the IP66 and the Aratek workchip CPU. The second one, it is F6. It will also support the IP66, but it could support the NFC, fingerprint, and the voice. F8, the most important is it could support the Linux or Android system. F10, it is more bigger, the 10-inch screen. It is the Android 9.0 system. TBS 950, it is a 5.5-inch screen and with the NFC here. TBS 980 with the 8-inch screen. As an important part of public security, fingerprint and iris are the most widely used biometric. Do you know how could they identify people? Let's figure it out today. Fingerprint recognition refers to compare one's fingerprint with its pre-saved one. As every one's pattern, breakpoint and the intersection of the fingerprint are unique. Thus, fingerprint recognition technology is created. And the fingerprint identification is mainly identifying individuals based on the comparison of fingerprint texture and the detailed features. Attributed to the modern electronic integrated manufacturing technology and the reliable algorithm research, fingerprint recognition has become the most deeply researched, widely used, and major technology in biometrics. And the iris recognition technology is based on the iris in the eye for identification, which is mostly applied to security devices and the SIMs with high security requirements. The human eye is consist of the scanner, iris, pupil lens, retina, and other parts. And the iris is the circular area between the black pupil and the white sclera, which contains many detailed features including spots, filaments, clouds, stripes, crisps, and so on. And the iris will remain the same all life, thus it has high uniqueness. And these features make people available to make accurate identifying through it. Now, let's introduce about the fingerprint and the iris terminals here. You could see this is our biometric security family. We could support the handheld device, desktop device, the outdoor device, and also the bigger one. The first one is the S5. This is the handheld biometric tablet we will launch in December. So you could see here is the fingerprint and also the 5-inch screen. Another one, this is the S8. It is a rugged all-in-one biometric tablet. So let's introduce about this terminal for you. It is Android 9.0, 8-inch touch screen. The fingerprint scanner, please notice, the fingerprint scanner, it could support the FAP20, FAP30, and also the FAP45. So now also you could support the face recognition, also the iris scanner here, and the 1D and the 2D barcode scanner, and the smart card reader and NFC reader here. Of course, you could support a very big battery for longer time use. The NAS, you could support a 1.5 meter drop protection. Also, this is about ET certificates. So now this is the two type of the handheld device, handheld fingerprint biometric terminals, TVS 350 and 360. This is the 4-inch and the 5-inch device. The most important, you could see, we could support the rubber case here. So this is the TPS 450. It is the 8-inch tablet with the FAP20 fingerprint. And this is the TPS 470 with the 7-inch screen with the fingerprinter here. So now this is the TPS 550 for the desktop barcode scanner pose. And you could support the keyboard and also the printer for your ticket. This one, it is a bigger one. It is 10-inch desktop device with the barcode scanner, fingerprint, and also the printer here. Also, the NFC is here. So another one, this is the TPS 521. It has the arm to put to take the photo of your face, and also it could support a bigger fingerprint scanner here. Up to now, Telepower biometric terminals contain face recognition device, fingerprint readers, and iris fingerprint terminals. Among them, we can provide various product types, including handheld, tablet, desktop, and so on, which can be widely used in the election, SIM card registration, visit registration, police, and other things. Driven by a high sense of social responsibility and dedicated to ensuring public safety, we have self-developed a series of temperature measurement terminals, face recognition devices, fingerprints, and iris recognition products, and so on. And to reduce the development cycle, and we use our product as soon as possible, we also can provide an all-in-one solution. Telepower takes the customer as the core and can provide customized service. Today, many global well-known customers have already enjoyed such an intimate service. This is what I want to share with you today. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or want to discuss more details with me, welcome to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for that wonderful presentation. Do you want to come up and say some closing remarks before we move on? Okay, so, all right, I guess Mike isn't coming up, but yes, you can definitely contact him in the exhibitor booth on Hoover. So yeah, he's available there. So before we move on, I do still want to remind everybody about the passport. Contest. You can still win by collecting passports. Oh, hi, Mike. Do you want to unmute? Hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining. That was a wonderful presentation. Would you like to say anything? Would you like to say anything to the audience before we move on?
Yeah.
We don't have time for questions and answers. We've run out of time, but if there's anything you want to say to the audience.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. That was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
And so, yeah, our next stop is with Union Community. There was a slight mix-up, my fault, but Union Community was supposed to go before, but now they're joining us now. So welcoming Mr. Jerry Kim. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Please let us know where you're presenting from, and we'd love to hear what you're presenting today.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to start. Hello, everybody. This is Jerry, Business Manager in Union Community. First of all, I would like to say thank you for joining ID4 Africa. Briefly, I can say about our company. Union Community has been learning total biometric solution business since 1998, based in South Korea. We have a single fingerprint scanners, 4 slab scanners, biometric portable device, and multimodal biometric device. Many things we have it, but now time is not enough. So I'm gonna introduce about our biometric contactless solutions by video for about 20 minutes. From now on, another person, Mr. Curry, our specialist, prepared the optimized video. Let's see together. 보여?
Mr. Jerry, there's no audio. Can you enable computer sound?
You cannot hear?
No, we can't hear anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
so no, it's when you're sharing audio, let me ask you to please share screening again. And this time, please tick mark share computer sound at the bottom. When you share your screen now, at the bottom it says share computer sound. Please tick that.
I'm sorry. Wait a second, please.
Okay.
Okay, wait. 컴퓨터 소리군요.
Thank you all for joining today. Okay, now we reached 100 people. I hope you all can see me. You don't necessarily need to watch me, but most important is you're seeing the presentation on the screen, what I'm about to present today. I will go over the UBioX Iris and the Pro 2 one more time very quickly, but the main purpose of this webinar is to introduce you to our new UBioX facial product and also the thermal solutions that we are offering right now. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. First of all, just welcome you all to the UBio contactless temperature solution webinar. Here's the agenda for today, and if you want, you can turn on the captions below on your browser and you can actually see what I am saying to you. If you're having difficult following with my voice. We're going to go over the UBioX Face, Pro 2 and Iris, quickly cover again, and some sales features and advantages, and also some thermal detection technology with the thermal camera solution we currently have and the thermal module that we've just introduced. And then I'm going to show you some demonstration videos and then give you a quick update on the UBio Alpeta platform and see how that's going. So first of all, I want to cover the facial products because this is going to get a little bit confusing, so I tried to separate it a little bit easy for you to follow with the facial products and the Iris products. So in the facial products, we are introducing the UBioX Face. Now, this is new to us also because it is a face-only product. We're not having any fingerprint on it. It'll have face and also card access and password. Along with the facial products, the UBioX Pro 2, which is also new. Now, don't forget also the UBioX Pro and Pro Lite. We introduced that at the beginning of this year, but these are two new technologies with the X-Face and the Pro 2 with the visible light technology, and they use the same technology together, you can see. And along, we have the Iris solution. Now, please remember the Iris is a totally different form of biometric technology using the Iris, not the face. So consider this as a totally new, different solution altogether. And with that, we have thermal solutions of these three products, and we have the thermal module for the UBioX Face. And the UBioX Pro, we also have the thermal module. And as well, we have introduced a couple months before the thermal camera with the UBioX Pro 2. And with the iris, we're also introducing the thermal module. We'll cover a little bit of detail about that in a few minutes. The next slide, I want to talk about the roadmap and what we've been working on this year since the COVID situation and what we're trying to cover up for and give you some solutions for contactless. So what we have is the Pro 2, which we introduced in June. And then just about a month later, we had the Pro 2 with the thermal camera that we released. And the same time, we released that in July, which was the iris solution. We've had a few samples delivered to customers now, but we'd like to see a little bit more tested and given out. So please take a look in detail about the iris solution. Then now, October, wow, that's now. We're going to introduce that actually this week. This is going to be released. And please talk to your salespeople about getting samples that you can order right now. We have a limited amount of samples for the UBioX face currently. And then, we say November, the thermal module solution is going to be at the beginning of November. We do have samples also in middle of October, but limited samples. So please note that. That's what we've been working on this last year for the contactless solutions. And that's why we've been busy. Some of your requests and customizations with Alpeta, and that is a little bit difficult to get it all in place right now because we've been following up on that. I just noticed a quick question. What is the difference between thermal camera, thermal module? I'm going to cover that as a couple slides down, so please be patient. First, I want to talk about the new terminal, the UBioX face. Now, the UBioX face, the main difference between the other terminals and is the IP65, the dust and waterproof protection. Also, the authentication method I want to mention clearly is face and card or password PIN. Please remember this is different from previous products as there is no fingerprint involved with this. And just as a Pro 2 is, we have a 1-to-N and a 1-to-1 of maximum facial users of 20,000. And the remaining features, functions of this product are pretty much similar basic functions of our other readers. You got your standard images, log files, communication ports. Then you got your card readers. The card readers will be separate SKUs. So when you order this product, you have to order UBioX Face MyFair or UBioX Face RF version. We will be supporting the HID Prox and HID iClass as optional as well. So please remember they're not built in all into one. They are separate products. And of course, the embedded camera that will take a picture of the transactions, and you got your soft key touchscreen keypad, and then the FAR with the face on it. And with the face, I want to just talk about quickly some of the key points or key advantages with the UBioX face. And you're going to see a lot of similarities with the UBioX Pro as well. Of course, you got the fast capture at a long distance. So up to 3 meters, we're calling it, and some people refer to as a walkthrough type authentication. Easy face authentication. So as you've seen on previous products or other products, you have to put your face in a particular area to get it authenticated. But on this product, once you're in the general area of the screen, your face will be authenticated almost immediately. One important feature these days is the mask detection function. So you can have that function. I'll talk about it a little bit later, how that works with the Pro 2 and the facial products with the mask detection. Liveliness detection, that's another important feature that people will ask for, and that is just making sure that standard picture will not work, or 3D face will not work on the terminal. I will show you some video after about that. And easy face registration. And I'm going to reiterate from the Pro and UBioX Pro and Pro Lite products. As you know, that uses IR technology, and it does require you to register your face at those particular products. And the UBioX Face and UBioX Pro, they use the visible light technology. Visible light is what you're seeing right now, just standard red, green, blue, normal lighting conditions. So that's what makes it different, is that you can use a standard picture for registration there. Then we have the thermal option. So the thermal option or thermal sensor will be another option for the UBioX Face. Let me just talk about the iris quickly. I did cover this on webinar 3 presentation, but some of you are new to this webinar, so I'll cover it right now again. As you know, the iris can cover up to 40,000 1 to n. And the number of users for iris is 20,000. The number of fingerprints is 40,000 1 to n. And one key point you should notice about the fingerprint support in the iris is we have the FBI PIV FAP20 certified sensor in there. We're using our new NSCAN FM sensor for fingerprint. So remember that as a key point for the UBioX iris, not just iris, but also you have the multimodal for the fingerprint authentication. One thing I should mention about the iris is when you're registering, sorry, I'm getting a lot of pop-ups at the same time and it's getting distracting. The iris, 2 eyes are enrolled and each eye requires 2 templates. When you're authenticating, you're just using 1 eye during the authentication process. We have 2 cameras in the iris. One camera is a 5 megapixel camera that's used for the actual capture of the iris, and the other is a standard 2 megapixel camera that we use for the face detection and taking a normal picture. The facial detection is required for capturing the face and making sure that the face is aligned for the iris capturing technique. So I think we talked enough about the iris. I'll just go over the key advantages. Of course, I told you before, it was the multimodal function. You have the iris fingerprint card or pin that you can use in a multimodal or combination function. Another important feature that people like is the auto tilt function that we introduced again in the iris. We had that previously in another product, but we introduced it again for the iris. The auto tilt is good for height adjustment on the iris. When we're talking about the other points there, the masks, hijab, niqab, niqab, that is good for the mask detection function. I'll cover that after. Eyeglass support, of course, that is supported when using iris. I mean, probably 30–40% of people use eyeglasses, so that has to be supported. It's just recommended when your enrollment time that one of the templates is enrolled with the glasses on, so that'll be better. And another key feature is quick capturing at a comfortable distance. What you see with other iris devices, that it does require you to be, or your head to be aligned in a certain area and lined up to be authenticated, where ours is at least a 50-centimeter distance and comfortably, and you don't have to keep your eyes open. Your eyes are watering or tearing from trying to get the right location. Our capture method is pretty good at capturing instantly. without having to worry to align your eyes in the right location. It'll guide you in the process during that period. The features of the facial devices and the mask detection features, which are very important for you to know about when you're setting up your system. Some of the facial features on the Pro 2 and the UBioX face is the distance setting. As you know, we can detect up to 3 meters maximum for the face, but sometimes that can be adjusted or can be annoying or detecting at too long of a distance. So there's some feature that you can adjust that down to, I think, at least 1 meter. And it has a function to disable multi-face detection. So when it gets a little bit too busy around the facial detection area, you're going to see a lot of people get authenticated or being interrupted with the normal authentication process. This might be good for walkthrough type methods that you want to disable multi-face detection. And then there's another option, ignoring unregistered users. This is a little bit related to the multi-face detection, but when you're ignoring unregistered users, sometimes if the user's not registered, the camera will be focused on those people that are on the screen. So you don't want that all the time. So this is a good feature to have when you just want to focus on the registered users on the device. Okay, now mask detection on Pro 2 and UBioX face. Now there's an option to enable the mask detection, and I will show a video about that later, how that works. But of course, the mask on will give you a passing function. But if the mask is on partially, so for example, you don't cover your nose, and you have the mask on, you take a look at my image, my video. If you have it like that, it will not allow you to pass. And then, of course, if the mask is off, you will also not be able to pass the auto fail and warning message at that time. This is only a local annunciation at the device itself, at the Pro 2 and X face. It will not deny your access, just like a normal access granted or access denied. So that's how the mask function works. And we do have a mask detection function on iris. Now, when I speak about mask detection functions, if you can imagine the iris, you're looking at the eyes only, so the masks should not be in the way of the detection. It's not, as I said, there's 2 cameras. One of the cameras is for detecting the face, and with a mask on, it can be distracting to detecting the face sometimes. So we developed an algorithm to detect for face masks, or if people are wearing a hijab, that your eyes are only the part that are exposed, niqab, or even face shields. So that's important, that those people can continue wearing those items without having to worry about not being detected on the iris device. So here we have a demonstration with the thermal module on our UBioX Pro 2 system. I think you can see this now on the system. It should be working, should be seeing it. And we're showing the video with using a picture image and how it does not detect if a picture is detected. As you can see, the face is not being detected at all during that period of time. And also some same demonstration on the UBioX Pro 2 with the thermal camera with normal face detected, showing the temperature on the screen. And then an actual picture image trying to authenticate at that time. Of course, it's not going to be detected at that time. Let me skip ahead to another video in the presentation. Okay, I think you should see this demonstration video now for the UBioX facial device. As you can see, it's similar to the Pro 2 where we can go up to 3 meter for recognition on it. So you're seeing it now. This is our first video for the UBio X face, and it's just a demonstration video. As you can see, it also has a mask detection function with a mask when it's not being worn at that time. I'll just show it again. And there you can see also the stand on that. I'll rewind the video again so we can go through it again, because this is the facial one, UBio X face. So there you have it on the, showing it on the stand, and the UBio X face authentication at a distance of more than up to 3 meters. And also we do have the mask detection function that does not allow access with a mask, without a mask. And this video, we'll share it again later in the presentation file later. And let me share another video. You're going to see a video displayed now with the UBio X iris, and I do have my mask on when I'm authenticating at that time. And right beside it I have our UBio X Pro 2 as well. But this is meant for showing you with the UBio X iris detecting with a mask on. Just since I had it beside me, I'll show you with a mask on the Pro, UBio X Pro 2. And I have another video of the iris and mask detection function, but you don't need to see that right now. We'll work that out. And I want to thank you all for attending today.
Hello, Mr. Kim.
Hello.
Oh, thank you. That was a fantastic presentation, especially towards the end, the demos. We loved that. And especially the UBio X face, the moving technology. Very fun to look at. Yeah, I'm sorry, we run out of time for questions. I'm sure there were many in the chat, but if you could just maybe answer them directly in Whova. And if anybody wants to talk to you, they can, of course, you can visit Mr. Jerry and the Union community in the Whova app. Would you like to say anything before we move on?
Okay, this time is the first time joining online expo. So something a little bit nervous, but I'm going to prepare for next expo. I'm going to join. We can see next time.
Yeah, yeah, there'll be more opportunities in times ahead.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on. Next, we have Cetis. We have Mr. Ellis Kobrivic. I'm sure he's going to pronounce it properly. And Miss Mahela are you around?
Yes, hello, hello. Yes, we are here.
Yes, please introduce yourself and then I'll play your video.
Hello, everyone. Hello from Slovenia. So Slovenia Cetis company, and today we will present our experience in Equatorial Guinea, our project there. We established the entire system for security documents. And Mishka, I would like to ask you if you can start our video. Hello everyone, my name is Alex Kuprits and I'm head of IT solutions at Cetis, and today I will present our project in Equatorial Guinea. But before that, a few words about Slovenia and about Cetis. So you probably see this picture behind me and this landmark here. It's called Bled. It's a very nice place to visit. So you are most welcome to visit our country. So as I said, few words about Slovenia now. So Slovenia is located in Central Europe, and our population is around 2 million people, and we have a beautiful capital city called Ljubljana, and we are speaking Slovenian language. So Cetis as a company is located in the third largest city in Slovenia, called Celje. And we as a team, IT team, we as a company, we are very flexible, and we are building solutions for governments and other clients. So I could say that we are one of the leading company in this sector. So we are present. That's why we're present in 50 different countries worldwide, and we have 200 years of experience, and we have all the security standards. Each of us have already one of the security documents, such as ID cards, passports, and so on. And in our system, everything started with birth certificate. So we always try to combine physical document with digital identity, and combine these things together, we can get, or we can provide you entire solution for digital identity system. So our mission is to provide solution that you can get different documents from different government agencies or services. And on top of that, I could say that that's the goal. That's our goal, to give you an entire solution and connect all the government entities among themselves, because we, as you can see here, we build central registry of population. On one side we have the citizens, and on another side we have non-citizens. And in the citizens we have government entities responsible to issue the document, such as ID card, driver's license, birth certificate, driver's license, passport, to the citizens. In another part, we are talking about non-citizens, which something like usually is this immigration office, which is responsible to issue a visa for no citizens to make them able to travel to their or to your country. So in a way we are doing that with the central platform. Everything is possible. So in this case we are using to approach that way, we are using enrollment, data management, personalization, and document issuing models to achieve all needed services. And on top of that, we are talking about different authorities which are control the different authorities which control the data, like police, immigration, inspection, and so on. So they can control the data, and also they can control that the right document it was issued to the right person. We always facing with some challenges. And I would like to, let's say, just basic things, explain you about our challenge in Equatorial Guinea. So we came there as a Slovenian team. First challenge was to understand our local, let's say, local team, their local staff or government, because we have to understand very well what actually they're looking for, what they want. In that way we can prepare a solution, a proper solution for them, to give them all the to give them right support and right services So first we established the central platform, and then sometime after that we implement first sub-registry, and that was already, I would say, one small environment connected in a secure way and accessible from outside through internet and so on. And then we easily adapt and add the rest of the functionalities. And then we add sub-register for travel documents, and then we upgrade the system and add another one for ID documents. So of course we still have some work there to do, but this is somehow our you can see how is our approach. First, we always try, and we always have to understand our customer, what they need. So because the system is more and more internet-based, everything gets more and more flexible. As I said on the beginning of this presentation, we are a flexible company. We can adapt any customer demands, to their needs, because in this kind of system, for example, benefits, government with the central platform will get benefit that the data are available all the time in real time. So they will have access on them. They will be able to control issued documents. They will have control on what was issued, and it was issued to the right person, which is very important. That one person exists. It's entered in the system just once as a unique object. I would say object, like because we're talking about digital. We're talking about digitally, so it's an object for us inside the database. And this is a very crucial point. This kind of in this kind of platform. So also the citizens, they have benefits, because if they have identity in the digital world, they will be able to identify themselves easily. They will be able to authorize them. Government, they will be authorize them easily. So all this all these things are very important and very connected between themselves. So because we are traveling a lot, actually people, they travel a lot, they have to be identified, and they have to be in the country. And the country, it's easier for them to give them their identification, and that's why this is a very big advantage for citizens. So on the end, as I said, we are a flexible team, we are a flexible company. We can adopt any kind of system for based on the requirements what customer needs. And this is for us, it's a crucial point, and this is our this is also our strategy. So we always try to understand our customer. We always work with them. We always worked with them very close, so to understand their needs. So after the system is set up, we transfer also the know-how. We give them support. We for the basic things we can help them through the internet. For the bigger things, we usually travel to their country and help them to fix the issue. So.
Hello, Mr. Ellis. That was a wonderful presentation. And so, yeah, I was wondering if you could elaborate a bit more on the standards used in your product.
So, as I said, we support all the, let's say, security standards which are important for to build such a system, and also we support all the standards to produce such a, let's say, security document. As I said, for example, ID card, passport, or any kind of different identity document, I would say. So we support that. And we have it, because otherwise we could not approach to such a, let's say, project worldwide, not just in Africa, because we are present in many different countries worldwide. And we also produce documents for our country. We also have some, let's say, a background system for our country, but not let's say not the entire solution, but for, as I said, documents, we are producing all of them, and also for the banks and everything. So, yeah.
And so data is very important. So I kind of want to ask you about privacy by design that has been implemented in solutions.
Yeah, that's true. Solution we have, it's designed that way that data are really secured, stored in a database. So all the connections between different entities, let's say different government organizations, are secured with let's SSL protocols and encrypted, and so it's on a high level of security, because we know that, and we have to follow this kind of high level of this security. Okay. Because as you heard, it's more and more things are based on internet, and yeah, we know that we are, let's say, globally present, so it could be corrupted. But if you go on the high priorities of this security level, we can trust. So we can give our customers a very flexible and secured solution.
Okay, great. And so somebody has asked, you said you did mention in your presentation that you're active in several African countries, but somebody in the audience has asked, what are the top 3 challenges you have seen in delivering those ID projects in Africa?
I would say the first thing, as I mentioned, is to understand. Always we start from this, let's say, this is for the first step for us. We have to understand what they need, because if we not work together, maybe we could get some misunderstandings. And you know, when you start building such a system, you have to define all the open questions in the beginning of that. Otherwise, you know, they can get something what they didn't want. Yeah, basically this is it. So the first few steps are we are working, and also further we always work really close with our customers, because I'm coming from the technical part, so that's our job. So technically we have to understand exactly what they're looking for.
Right. Yeah. I think that answers all the questions from the audience. Is there anything you'd like to say before we move on? Any closing remarks to the audience? Okay, so Yeah. So basically, if anybody wants to visit you, you will be available in the Hoover Exhibitor Hub. So yeah, you're available there.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you, Alice, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So last but not least, we have Iris Corporation. And so we have 3 presenters from there. I'd like to ask you to please turn on your videos and join me.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Mr. Liu. So yes, please introduce yourself and where you're speaking from.
First of all, thank you, ID for Africa, for organizing this meaningful conference. My name is Liu. On behalf of Iris Corporations, I'm very honored to share with you the latest innovation by our company to help the government around the world to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Without further ado, let me share with you a pre-recorded video of my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have right after this. Hello everyone, my name is Liu Yong Sing. I'm the Chief Technology Officer from Iris Corporation Berhad. Before we go into the detail of Iris geotime quarantine solution, let me give you a little bit of the background about Iris Corporation. Iris was actually founded back in 1994, and we are the inventor of the first e-passport and multi-application national ID card in the world. Over the years, we have accumulated numerous patents that are related to the trusted identity industry, and we were public listed in Malaysia since the year 2002. In our portfolio, a comprehensive suite of trusted ID solution, for instance, for the national eID solution and the digital ID solution. We also have an e-passport, border control, driver license, etc. That we have already developed over the years. But today our focus will be on the geotime quarantine solution. And but before we go there, here's a bit of background, right? Why we need the geotime quarantine solution, right? Today, the WHO, as of 25th of November, has actually reported that there are about 59 million confirmed cases of COVID-19. And this involves more than 1.4 million deaths. That is the latest grim statistic. And while the world is waiting for the vaccine to be ready, the government must take different measures to contain the virus before it is getting out of control. Right? There are various measures, and one of them including to enforce very stringent quarantine rules on people suspected of getting the diseases. Right? So we believe geotime quarantine can play that important role for the government. And our solution is mainly based on the 3 technology known as facial recognition with anti-spoofing. Mobile geofencing capability will contain and make sure that a person under quarantine can only check in with the authority when they are in the stipulated location of quarantine. And the system, we are also providing the functionality to send up a randomly timed push notification to the person under quarantine. The person under quarantine will receive the notification on their mobile phone, and they will then report their whereabouts and their location to the authority, so that they can demonstrate to the authority that they are following the directive of the quarantine. Yeah, here's a little bit more detail on how the system works, right? The system is basically going to be operated by the authority to enroll the person under quarantine into the geotime portal, where their photo and a little bit of detail on their address will be captured. The person under quarantine must download and install the application into their mobile phone. The authority would then configure the system to send what we call the randomly timed push notification to the PUQ, so that they can then check in to the authority using the mobile phone. Right? If a person failed to check in within the stipulated time for whatever reason, then the system will notify the system administrator or the supervisor, so that they can then take immediate action to either contact the person under quarantine to find out where they are, or to send an enforcement officer immediately to make sure that this person is not exposing the community with the risk of infection. So when it comes to the controlling the pandemic situation like COVID-19, time is of the essence, right? The government must find a solution that is effective, but also it's important to be able to implement the solution quickly, right? The geo-time quarantine enables the government to do that because it is basically a readily available solution that we have hosted in our data center, and we are offering it as a software as a service. So it offers two different components. One is for the web portal backend for the administrator to register and monitor the person under quarantine, basically. And the other component is basically the mobile application that the PUQ can download and later use the application to check in with the authority. The system basically is managed by the officer, the government officer. The government officer registers the person under quarantine, and the government officer will basically also configure the push notification that will be sent out by the system to the PUQ at random hour. When the PUQ receives the notification, as you can see in this diagram, they will then check in using the mobile app. Their check-in records will be stored in the database, and of course, then real-time report can be generated. And if any violation is detected, the officer will be alerted immediately. This is how the system works, basically. Right. The check-in process is very fast and very intuitive. Basically, it's just a two-step thing, right? The user would open the GeoTime Quarantine app, click on the check-in button at the bottom of the screen, and then perform what we call the facial verification to prove to the system that you are the person under quarantine. Obviously, the mobile app is equipped with the anti-spoofing liveness detection, sure that it is a living person standing in front of the camera that is performing the check-in. So if you are within the geolocation or the geofence and you are the right person, the system will allow you to check in. In the back end, we have a portal, as I have explained previously, a back-end portal that allows the system administrator to do the registration, to check the status of the quarantine, and generate report, as well as configuring the push notification. So this is an example of the geofence that we were talking about previously, right? As you can see, the geofence can be defined easily on the map for either the government quarantine center or the home of every individual under self-quarantine. This is another view of how the system would be used, right? As you can see here, the GeoTime administrator, in this case the government officer, would configure the push notification. For example, you can configure the system to be sending out a random notification from between 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Another one maybe from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Right? So you can configure as many random notifications as possible, and then the system will generate the notification to the person under quarantine. And then when the person under quarantine check in through facial recognition and verification on their geofence, the system will capture the data and then will know whether this person is following the rules or not. And the GeoTime admin will be able to come into the portal and see who has failed to check in, right? And they basically can initiate corrective action, can raise an alarm, send an enforcement officer, or even call the person under quarantine directly, right? The process is repeated according to the system configuration, and but the effectiveness of this system is based on what we call the element of surprise, because the push notification can be sent at random time. Therefore, it is preventing the person under quarantine from having any knowledge on when they are expected to receive the notification. Right? So this is the way we ensure compliance. So what are the benefits? The number one benefit, of course, is to reduce the total cost for the government to enforce quarantines. Right? By having this effective push notification at random hour, we can increase the number of self-quarantine at home, reduce, of course, the number of administrators as well as enforcement personnel, because we can now focus on a smaller group of people who is not following the directive. And of course, we are implementing geo-time quarantine under the software as a service, so it's ready for deployment almost immediately. The second benefit is, of course, it is effective. You have a geo-time portal for the system administrator to check who has failed to comply to the geo-time quarantine, to the quarantines directive, and obviously real-time accurate report will enable the enforcement team to focus on the people who violate the quarantine requirement. Last but not least, we are very experienced in the facial recognition and geofence technology. We have implemented very secure solution, and geo-time quarantine is also having this take advantage of our expertise in delivering safe and secure, reliable solution over the years. With that, we will conclude with a geo-time quarantine video to demonstrate to you how the system works.
Well, that concludes the video. I'm ready to take any questions that the audience may have.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. So there is a question from the audience. Somebody has asked, what technology is employed for the geofencing and how accurate is geofencing? Because I've heard that some of the systems lack location accuracy to accurately determine the location of the person.
Yeah, so it's a very good question. Our geofence capability is basically based on the Google Map capability, and the technology obviously depend on the GPS to a large extent, right? So if you have a direct line of sight to receive the what you call the GPS signal from the satellite, the user will be able to get very accurate GPS coordinates reported. But if you are maybe in a high-rise building and all, the GPS signal is a bit, let's say, obstructed by the tall building, then the accuracy might not be there, right? So the important thing to remember is this, right? When you are telling the person under quarantine to stay at home or to be quarantined, what that means is that you do not need to have accuracy right up to like 1 or 2 meters accuracy, right? So it is within the perimeter of the location where he or she is staying. So it doesn't make sense for somebody to leave the house for 10 meters and have to come back up to the home, right? If they want to leave the house and violate the quarantine rules, what they would typically do is they go out to a shopping mall somewhere to buy some stuff, right? So that is basically further away from the location where they are supposed to be quarantined. And if they do that, they will not be able to check in as per the system required, right? So we do not need to have a very accurate geofencing to contain the people. We can have a little bit of allowance, but that allowance may not be so far that it allow the people to go out very far away from the home, right? So that is to me, I think that the experience that we have is that yes, it is not required to be absolutely accurate right on the spot for the quarantine situation.
And does that geotechnology, does it depend on any further technology on internet connectivity or something else?
Yeah, so of course, if you are staying at home, the accuracy of your GPS may be improved if you have access to your phone is connected to the Wi-Fi as well, right? So that will improve the accuracy. And actually, our solution can be complemented with what we call positioning beacons, right? So we can actually enhance the accuracy by, let's say, if you are in a quarantine center, and we can then install several Bluetooth beacons that will transmit the signal that will be then captured by the mobile phone. That mobile phone would then be able to say, you are actually within the geofence, right? So yes, we are not only totally dependent on the GPS, but we are also complementing it with the Bluetooth beacons to improve the accuracy.
Great. And so since our audience is based in Africa, have you implemented this anywhere in any African countries or organizations?
No, we haven't got any customer in Africa for this new innovation that we have implemented. However, we are actively at this moment engaging with the government of Malaysia. We are now actually making the necessary arrangement to have a pilot test with the smaller scales and the smaller number of people under quarantine, and to allow the government to fine-tune the standard operating procedure. Once they are happy, if they are happy with our solutions, then I think we are going to go full scales after that. So at this stage, we are at the preparation stage for the pilot.
Okay, great. So somebody has also asked in Hoover, does this only work for people who have smartphones?
Yes, because as you can see, right, we would need to have various technology of the smartphone, like the camera, The basic one will be the camera and the GPS positioning, right? So smartphone is essential for this to work properly. Yes. However, I must say that, right, if you have, for instance, a family of 3 or 5 person, right? All these 5 person in the family can use the same phone, one particular phone, to check in with the authority. So you can share the phone to check in, basically.
Okay, we're almost running out of time, but we have another question from the audience, from Abudun Akunala. So they're asking, what happens when network connectivity issues make it not possible for the person under quarantine unable to check in? How dependent is this system on network connectivity, internet? I think you did answer part of this before, but they also want to know, how do we ensure persons in quarantine have not left their boundary? And is there an alert once they leave their boundary?
So we are not tracking the person under quarantine 24/7, right? So the system is configured such that, for example, in the video you may have seen, we configure multiple push notification, right? So maybe in a day, 24 hours, I can configure like 5 or 8 push notification. But every day, the push notification will be sent out to the person under quarantine at different time, right? So they can never predict, because the time is randomly generated by the system. Not even the system administrator has control over it, right? So they configure it, and then the notification will be sent out at random time. Because of the element of surprise, right? The PUQ would hesitate to say, hey, I wonder whether when I leave home, I will receive the notification. If I receive the notification, I have to check in. But if I am not within the geo fence, then I will not be allowed to check in. The system will reject the attempt to check in. And hence, this is a way to tighten the control of the person under quarantine. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Liu. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Would you like
before
to
I go? Yeah, before
please.
I go, I think I would like to say that we are organizing actually another live event right after this at around 8:30. Right, so please feel free to join us. We can share with you more information. If you have any more questions, you can ask the relevant question to us. If you are the government authorities and officers, and your government is fighting the pandemic, I think you need all the tools at your disposal, and we will be happy to help you out by showing you how the whole solution can work. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that was our last stop for this session.